Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of Diecast Emporium. Today we're going to take a look at the model that you see right in front of you. It is the Diecast Masters Caterpillar 950M, made in 1:50 scale. Now, you may be familiar with this model because Tonkin did it a few years ago as the 950K, and there are very little subtle differences between the two. One main difference being the operator in the cab, another is a black bucket versus a yellow bucket, which was on the original release. And there's a couple other minor details that we'll get into here shortly. But one thing that I want to hit home first, because there have been a lot of people asking about it. A lot of people on Instagram want to know if the bucket is removable so that they can attach some of their attachments. Right here is a pin, and I believe that is the pin that you can take out and remove the bucket. Because if you look from the top down, it has a nice the bucket just sits over the top of the quick coupler. I'm trying to figure out a way to get that on screen. So it would be my assumption that you would just pull that pin out and the bucket would come off. Again, I don't like vandalizing my models or chancing breaking them, so I'm not going to do that. But just know that that option is there. So the tires do look great. They're not too terribly shining. I love the bolt head detail in here. They're all individually painted in silver, which looks great. No hoses across the articulation point, unfortunately, but you do have some warning labels, so that adds a little bit of detail around that area. Towards the rear, you have a simulated towing hitch, which is non-removable, lights, your standard Caterpillar grille, silvered mirrors up there. These hand and grab rails are metal. These around the cab, however, are plastic, so it's important to note the difference there, excuse me. So, how does she function? How's the functionality? Well, actually, pretty darn good. It does everything you'd want a wheel loader to do. There is as high as it will dump and curl back. And there's the extreme end. So I would have liked to have seen more of a dumping angle, but you still should be able to get all your loose material out, especially since this straight edge bucket is designed for loose materials like sand or pebbles or something like that. But for the test, let's bring in a first gear Peterbilt dump truck. And as you can see, it clears the side of that, no problem whatsoever. And the two actually look really good together, especially if you have a dial or a display or anything like that. Last thing I want to touch on very, very briefly before we end this video. This is a Highline series model, so it does come in your metal tin. There's a picture of the top of it. And there's the model on the side, your item number and the Diecast Masters logo, Highline Series, bottom left. Here are your specification details if you wish to pause the video and read all about it. There you go, makes for some great bathroom reading. And there is another picture of the machine at work. And as I mentioned, it's working on some sand and loose material here. So overall, I'd have to give this model a solid 8 out of 10. It's pretty decent. I believe it's priced $75 at most retailers. And it should be at most retailers, I should say, within the next couple weeks to a month, somewhere around there. Definitely worth the price. I think it's a great loader. It's a great small to mid-range loader, especially when you look at some of the other things that are out there. I don't think you get the value for the money that you do with this one. So, as always, guys, like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you next time. Take care.